Okay guys, so I have officially finished moonlighting as a lady of leisure, enjoying all that the beaches had to offer, and I'm back to the apartment here, and I'm taking on my next home project. That is definitely the kitchen. I took on the kitchen last year, making just some kind of more cleaning and organizing stuff. Some of that is still here, some of that is not as good as it once was, some of it is completely fallen by the wayside. But there were several other improvements I really wanted to make that I didn't really stay the course with, and I'm gonna try to start that project again now because I have cooked so much this past year, and I just really realized a kitchen you don't really love is just super annoying because you spend a lot of time in the kitchen bringing groceries in, cooking, prepping, all the things. And I've really been trying to cook at home when I can. Saves money, it's good for you, all the things, get my healthiness together. But sometimes I'm just like, I want to throw something against the wall because this kitchen gets on my nerves. So that's what I'm trying to improve. Now, as I share this DIY project, please keep in mind this is an apartment. So it's not only an apartment, it's a apartment in the city. It's an older apartment. Now the upsides to the older apartment is these walls are literally probably made of cement. Um, and it's a very large layout for the money. Downsides are ample. Terrible management, annoying neighbors sometimes, terrible ventilation. I can sometimes smell what's in somebody else's apartment, which I have. It's a long story. If you live in an old apartment, you know. And also, probably one of the biggest things is cosmetically, the fixtures are dated. And then on top of that, you are dealing with a property management company that doesn't want to make improvements, but also wants to police what improvements you make it make sense. It won't, but you get what I'm saying. So I can't just do any or everything. I can't do full on demolition. It's in a condo. So I have to do improvements that are one, easy, affordable, because you want to use fixtures and things like that, if something happens to them, or if all of a sudden our neighbors have a leak, it's happened and it damages a section of whatever I bring into the space, I'm not messing up something that's crazy expensive. So I'm not using anything too crazy expensive. I'm not using anything that can't be reversed and undone whenever we move. And I'm also doing things that are kind of within the bounds of being a renter and are renter friendly. So that means no taking and knocking down walls and major changes that I would love to quite honestly make. But for the most part, I'm kind of stuck with some of the elements. Also, appliances, fixtures, lighting. Lighting I can change, walls I can change, but fixtures and things like that are literally hooked up to it's a little more murky. This new company is annoying. So a lot of these fixtures are dated. We're just going to try to update the elements we can update in order to improve the overall look of the space. So let me show y'all where we stand currently. On real life, it's gone by the wayside, y'all. Like, this is not what it looked like last time I gave you guys an update. It breaks my heart. It really does. So I want to keep a lot of those elements like the plants and actually incorporate those in it. So I'm going to work with the fact that I have wood cabinets. That's not changing. It is what it is. I have dated fixtures. I have white fixtures. It is what it is. So I'm trying to work with the elements that are in here and update them and make them as cohesive as possible. Also, make it flow better, make best use of the space, because it's kind of like a galley kitchen. As you can see, it's just kind of like a narrow strip and it's annoying to maneuver in here. So I'm trying to really make it so that this has a better flow to it, maneuvers better, and also aesthetically looks better than it currently does. So we are going to be making some improvements. First up is this tile. Now automatically, y'all, look at this and look at this. I mean, it just shows how crappy the apartment complex here is, because this wasn't that expensive. It wasn't, and it makes such a difference. Now I'm already finding that there are several issues with installation of these cabinets. So it was a little challenging to get this first section done because these aren't done as they should be. They're not all the way even, but that's fine. We're going to work with it. And already, y'all, I really like how this looks. My goal is to continue this across and also to start creating much better organization systems so that basically pretty much all this clutter on here, all this clutter, all of this, all of it, this is how I feel when I look at it, frustrated, it's gonna be gone. That's the goal, is to really just pretty much eliminate this and have more of a clean countertop, probably with the exception of this little section here, which has like cooking utensils, spices, things like that. And I'm also going to be replacing this cutting board. It's time, but really removing as much from the countertops as possible. And I also want to create some shelving, and y'all know Black people love keeping every single trash bag. We're going to have to start pulling back on that. We're keeping them, but not every single one. But I would love to, with this corner, create some shelving, removing this art, keeping this in, but also really unifying the canisters that are holding these items, eliminating everything that's on the top of the refrigerator. I want nothing to be visible. Eliminating what's on these top cabinets, like bringing some decorative elements in that are food related. And then also finally organizing this again so that it flows better, actually using and purposing the cabinets above the refrigerator once this crap is out the way. And what's the other thing I want to do, child? Oh, the flooring, replacing that. And I think that's it. That was a lot. I may have forgotten one or two things, but I'm going to try to make a little list, and I'm going to keep updating you guys as I go along with this process. But this is where we are starting at, baby. Oh, the spices as well. Got to reorganize those again. Y'all remember last year, these looked perfect. It looked perfect. You see how it's like one section of perfect, and then, I want to bring it all back to perfect. So that's the goal. We're going to get there, and this is just, you know, realistically our starting point. I do also want to try adding some hardware to the cabinets, and then just doing a really good clean on these cabinets. I'm not going to try to paint them or anything because that's going to be too much work, you know, when we move, when, if all of it could happen. So just small changes. And I also would like to, in addition to this tile, incorporate some kind of maybe like paint situation and some updates other than just this bland, what is this, like a taupe? I don't know, but I really love it. And then getting also pretty much all of these out of the windowsill, maybe keeping one or two plants, but pretty much getting everything out of the windowsill. And actually on some of the shelving I want to create, having some of those plants incorporated that way, having them incorporated over the overhead of the cabinets, having them on the shelving, because this will be nice and uniform. So actually using the plants as decor, also getting the cat stuff organized. A lot of organization is going to happen. The first part that I always dread of doing any space is the amount of organizing, purging, and deep cleaning I have to do. But honestly, it's something that everyone can do, and that is literally the first step. I only have this patch done just to patch test how this behaves over the next several hours and days, just to make sure it sticks, there's no puckering or, you know, peeling away from the wall before I continue this down the wall. But other than that, the first step to this space is really going to be decluttering and getting some organization back in place, so then I can bring in design. If it's just what I don't believe in, you know, I don't personally subscribe to bringing design into an unorganized space. Okay guys, so here is the fun part. After cleaning and purging, I'm now starting with continuing this faux subway tile, peel and stick tile along the walls, and changing out the flooring to this laminate flooring to have the look of wood floors without breaking the bank. So we're going to replace the flooring and work on both of these, again making affordable improvements as we go. So at first I was going to just keep the backsplash right underneath and over the sink, but I ended up extending it all the way up the wall behind the stovetop, which actually looks really good and brightens the space. And next up, I'm going to be painting as well, but as you guys can see, progress is definitely being made, and a lot of the purging and cleaning has been done. I did that off camera. I still have more things to do, like adding more hardware to the cabinets, deep cleaning the outside of the cabinets, as well as adding some shelving units, but I am very happy with the progress thus far. And these simple changes have already started to make a big difference in how the kitchen looks and feels and how much brighter it is in this space. So definitely, if you're a renter and you also aren't in love with your space, take control over it, take ownership. There's small things you can do that are renter friendly. So hopefully this will encourage anyone that is a renter like myself. Definitely, I'm going to leave the links below to the products and items we used from Amazon. All of them are very affordable, and I'll be back with more progress updates on how the kitchen comes along. Thanks for watching, guys.